everybody, welcome to the channel. Just got here to Linden's and got the truck unloaded, released the frame, and it's inside getting ready to get blasted and painted. So I'll leave it with him for a few days and let him do his magic on it, and we'll come pick it back up and start reassembling this thing. Well, there it is. It's sitting here inside, ready to go back to be blasted and painted. So next time you guys see it, it's not going to look like this. It's definitely going to look a little bit shinier and nicer. So we'll leave it in good hands with Linden, and we'll be back here in a few days to pick it up. Well, such a relief to have that thing dropped off there at Linden's and having him being able to work on it. Just feels like a huge weight lifted off me. Now I can concentrate on doing some other things. But we may go pick up a truck here in the next couple days. We're probably gonna go down to Aaron, see our buddy down there with our Dodge parts, get another set of springs for the back of that. And I gotta bring some bumpers for Linden to, we're gonna remake them in stainless, put a little more shiny on the truck that way, as far as a front bumper and a rear T-bar. Yeah, so I'm gonna still have a busy week of stuff. I got the cab I need to work on a bunch more. I need to put that screen in it. I think I showed you guys in the last video that I'm gonna be putting in there. And what else? Just cleaning up a bunch of stuff underneath it with the doghouse and the firewall. Get that stuff looking real nice, and then we got to get it painted as well. So, and then we got to put the whole thing back together and get it running, driving, and doing truck things. So, got a long ways to go still, but you know, hey, I'll take the accomplishments, and we're meeting some points and some deadlines with stuff. So we're moving forward. We'll be driving this thing down the road. It'll be pulling that jaxwax trailer before we know it. So, well, we're gonna get home and figure out what other direction we're gonna go today. Well, got back here to the house, did a bunch of cleaning out here. Got this place looking a little more spiffed up than it used to be. I still got trash to burn there, trash to burn there, and I got a motor hanging out here. Gonna be cleaning it up and painting it. But got my set of springs. So shout out to Robert, you know who you are, that brought me my springs. I really appreciate that. Bought him a frame. He's getting ready to build a Loadstar as well. It's gonna be pretty cool. He's got a really clean cab. So it's good to meet you, Robert, and thanks for bringing me my springs. There we go. And so yeah, now the wife and I are getting ready to hop in the truck and go up to Paulding area to pick up a Loadstar that I purchased that is for a future build that's coming up here. It's actually for Devin. You know who you are as well. So getting ready to go pick it up and get it back here, and then I'm going to build the video that's still not up. You're watching this video, it's the next week, but this is Saturday, and I still don't have your video built for last Friday that you've already seen. But yeah, whatever that means. But anyways, so at least we got our springs, so happy for that. So I can get those over to Linden, and he can get them blasted and painted with the truck, so they'll be all nice once we get everything back. Those are going to go to Mr. Man Scrapyard because I'm done with those. They're junk. So yeah, and a lot of that stuff needs to go to junk too, but I don't have enough hours in the day to be doing everything yet. So anyways, just a little update. I'll show you guys the Loadstar once we get there to check it out, get it loaded and get it back home. And then this week we're going to be starting back on the cab. I got a lot of stuff to do in the engine bay here with all these firewall panels and doghouse stuff. Need to clean up a bunch of that and get this all painted. I may end up actually loading this cab up on the gooseneck and taking it to Linden's and let him sandblast and paint the inside of the firewall stuff, the underneath the truck, and maybe even inside. So we'll see how that goes. That's kind of a tentative plan at the moment, but I hope to have this truck. It probably won't be married back to the cab and the frame in this video, but we'll be definitely getting close to having it married back together. And got to get stacks put on it, get the fuel tanks cut out. There's a lot to do. So, but kind of having a little bit more of a chill-ish day, cleaning up the shop and getting some things lined out. So
So yeah, that's I told you guys I'd take you along for a day for the plan, and that's the plan. So let's go pick up the truck.
Loaded up. This one is a 1970 1600. It is very, very clean. So pretty happy with that. May have to put some steps on it, which isn't a big deal, but back of the cab's nice and clean. I mean, the doors are really nice. Look how clean this thing is inside. It is very, very nice. So, and ran and drove it up on the trailer. It's got new rubber on it. So, you know, these tires and stuff will be for sale for sure. And this dump bed, I don't know what we're going to do with it yet, but all that stuff is going to be for sale. So, well, first, little bit bigger load for the truck. So let's get in and head home. Well, here it is in all its glory. 1970 International 1600. And it is very clean, which we've kind of looked at already, but happy to have it here. It will be built on this channel as well. It's just going to be, there's one more truck in front of this one. So maybe it's a little premature, but it is such a nice cab that it popped up. We couldn't not snatch it up. So it's here, and we'll, you know, get on to it here shortly. But I need to go in and edit you guys a video. I know it's probably going to be Sunday before you're seeing last week's, or yeah, because this is next week's, whatever. I'm going in and edit your video. That's all I'm going to say. So, yeah, we'll work out in the shop here another day. Well, it's Monday morning. Heading over to Lyndon's place to drop off those leaf springs so he can paint them with the frame so everything looks the same and looks nice. So I'm gonna do that, then I gotta go to Fire Punk and pick up a fuel system for the jaxwax truck. And then there's a metal shop over here that's got a large brake that could break the deck plate for me. And also Lynn and I are looking at having the rear bumper and a front bumper made out of some polished stainless, so that, you know, they're more custom for the truck for the size and everything. So, and then I gotta run a jaxwax and pick up some things there. So it's gonna be a Monday of driving all over the place. So, but we'll get that done, and then we'll get back to the shop and get working on the cab again, and see how far we can get on it today. Well, I got back from all my running around today. I was gone pretty much all day, between going from Lyndon's place, Fire Punk, Gingway for some metal, and then to Spring and Frame to drop off the leaf springs, get new bushings put in it, to jaxwax, to back to Gingway, back to Lyndon's, and then home. So, yeah, running all over the place today. But anyways, Dad and I are back here in the shop. We're actually working on this little project for jaxwax while I'm waiting on the stuff to get painted and everything. So they got these tiles, and there's 200 of these that they lay down on the floor. Maybe you guys remember one of the last videos, we were setting it up down there at Matt's. And they keep them in the cardboard boxes that they came in when they bought them. And the boxes are falling apart and they're a pain. So I told him, I'll build you guys a cart. So they got a show that they're going to
Barrett Jackson's down in Florida on Friday. The trailer leaves, so Dad and I are gonna get this thing built here in the next day or so. Get it painted and get it to them by Friday so they can load all their tiles up in it, and it'll make it a lot simpler. So we're gonna work on that today. Just a little side project for you guys to watch, and we'll be back to working on the truck cab tomorrow. Well, we're out here in the shop today. Did a little running this morning and had to get the door handles and stuff off of this for Jared. He's gonna have them re-chromed. So they're getting ready to head, I think, to California to get re-chromed. I don't know. Apparently, we can't really find anybody around here that'll do it. So if anybody knows anybody that can chrome stuff, leave a comment below, because we can't find anybody local to do it. But I'm gonna get back on this cart. We actually ended up changing the design on it just because of space. We didn't have the space in the trailer that we thought we did. So I went and picked up some metal. I got that, got the bandsaw moved out here. Gonna cut a bunch of this stuff up and get this thing put together. And I'll kind of explain it once the cart's put together, how it's gonna, I got some sheet metal coming that's gonna sheet some of the inside pieces so the tiles slide in and out nice and easy. So I'll explain that here in a little bit. But I'm gonna get some metal cut and you guys can watch me put this thing together. Cart, at least that's the basis of the cart. It's kind of a little, if you guys haven't seen the floor, you probably won't fully know what I'm talking about, but there's red tiles and black tiles. There's a red outline that goes around the whole outside of the perimeter of where all these lay. So those red ones are going to stack here, and they're this size, and they're going to be singles. So those are going to slip in there just like that. Now, I'm going to go get sheet metal, barn siding that's black, and it's going to actually sit against here and against here and against here and against here, so it'll make a box. So those will just slip right in and it'll be a smooth transition. And then this whole back piece will be sheeted. It'll have a piece that lays on this back side that's barn siding sheeting, and it'll be back there. It won't look like barn siding, it'll be smooth, but it's coming from a place that does barn siding. And I'll just pop rivet it in to this so it'll be clean the way it's attached. So this one you won't see anything. This side you'll see this bit, so I may put a cross piece in there or do something to make it look neater. And then the floor, we'll have a piece across the bottom for the floor. And then once again, this will have a piece on the inside. And of course the back will be there, and there'll be a piece on this side. Now, there's a lot more black tiles than there is red. So these all interlock together. So what the plan is to leave two tiles hooked together and shove those in as one piece. So that's the black tiles will all sit here, and there's 36 inches worth of them. So they're going to come up to about there. And there's 25 inches thick of red. So they're going to come to somewhere in there, and then they'll have space to put extras. And then I got a little tray that I'm having bent up that's 8" by 8" by 8" that'll slip down inside of this, and we can drill and pop rivet it into these, and that'll give them a tray that they can, and I'll have ends that I'll pop rivet in, so it'll be a capped off area. But that'll be a little tray that they can keep hammers, and they use knee pads and stuff when they are down putting these together. And there's also end caps, so they can put the end caps in there as well. So that's kind of what it's all going to look like. The sheet metal stuff won't be done until Thursday, so you guys will see the cart done in this video, but I don't take it over till Friday morning, so you won't see it loaded with stuff in this video. But Friday morning it's going to be loaded and headed to Barrett-Jackson's in Florida. So now what I need to work on is a set of doors, because that side will be non-accessible. This side, everything will be accessible from this side. So what I need to do is I need to come up with maybe a single door that'll swing clear around the back, that'll lock so that this will be exposed. And then I'm trying to figure out how to make this door, because yeah, I could still swing clear around, but it's going to hang out way out here if you do it in one piece. So I'm wondering if I can put a set of hinges there and a set of hinges in the middle, and hinge this one over against this one, and then pull them both around to there. That's what I'm thinking. So I guess got to run to Lowe's and see what kind of hinges I can find, and see what we can weld on there. Well, my phone went dead. Sorry about that. But this is what we got as far as this door. Kind of did some, I don't know, tried to make it pretty cool. But it's got this little latch here that comes open, and then this door swings clear around, and it actually locks into there, into that little notch there. You just got to give it a tug to get it off of there. But yeah, so I think that'll work. And then it swings around, and you can lock it. So it's pretty neat. I'm going to probably put metal on the back side of it just to close it in a little more for the pieces to be inside of there, so they'll stay in there. And this is all going to be painted flat black, and that'll be gloss black, so you'll still see that stuff. So just kind of a cool effect. I don't know, just messing around, having fun with it. But so now the small door is done. Now I got to build a big door. So that's next on the list. So I'm gonna get started on that. Well, here's what we got. I got this door you guys see me just put together, and that door is gonna look just like that, and then it's gonna come over here, and it's going to mount there. So the connection will go in here on top of this one, so they'll both go into the same spot. So if you can kind of envision this going into that same spot. But yes, I have hinges here in the middle because I want this piece to fold against this one, and then this piece to then fold around. So on the cart, that first piece will fold against this piece, and then this piece will fold around the back, so that way everything is still, when the doors are open, it's actually still contained. So, and I'll make these hinges nice and tight, so when, you know, it'll actually have pressure against the hinges before that thing slides in there. So that's my plan. I think that'll work. But here's the problem. I ran out of this little stuff. I had picked this up for something a long time ago, and I never used it, and so now we're using it for this. So I need a 20-foot piece to finish what I got to do here. So I guess I got to wait until tomorrow to finish that. I'll have to go get that piece. So, but it's not a big deal. We'll get it taken care of. Shouldn't be much, just some cutting in the morning and welding and get the cart so it's done. And then there's a couple tie down things that I got to put on it. Some little D-rings I think are over here. Yeah, I got these little guys I'm going to put on here so they can actually tie it down. I don't know where exactly, if I can figure out how to. There we go. I might put them like, I don't know. I may put them there. I may put them up a little higher. I haven't decided yet because this thing's going to be fairly top heavy, so I don't know. It might want to grab up higher on it. I don't know. But I'll figure those out later. But I got 4 of them to put on the corners. So spent a little more time on this cart than I probably should have, but it's I don't know, it was being creative and it was fun, and you know, so I know I need to be working on this some. I know I'm waiting on the frame to get back, but I still have the stuff in here that I need to be doing with getting the I have the touchscreen display that goes there in the center, and then I need to be finishing up this firewall stuff. So that's the plan for tomorrow. I'll finish this cart real quick, and then I need to get the firewall and that thing done inside for the center console. And then we need to look towards getting this thing power washed off and getting it painted so that it looks nice. And I think that'll make everything about ready to put back in the truck. Got a big pile of boxes over there with a bunch of parts and stuff, so we're going to be full steam ahead here pretty quick. I was told that Homer, the guy that did the seats in my truck, is actually coming to get the seats out of this and the door panels and a headliner and a visor and a shift boot. So he's going to be coming to get that stuff so he can get started on the interior, the seats and stuff. So getting excited. This thing's going to be come together quite quickly. So, but this card would be cool too. Just a little side project you guys got to get to see, but I like to mix a little bit of that stuff in just to break it up so I don't get burnt out on building trucks. So, but it's about midnight. I think I'm gonna call her quits. I did get this figured out, what I wanted to do. You can, it's kind of hard to see on my phone, I guess. You can kind of see the outline of what I'm gonna do. It kind of mirrors this in a way, kind of, sort of. So that's what we're gonna do. But I think it's time to call her quits, go inside. Well, it's a new day in the shop. I already went and picked up some more of that half by half stuff so I can finish this other door. And I may end up putting a little bit in these edges too, this this opening, because that's going to have metal on this side of it, so it'd be maybe neat to see some stuff there. So I'm going to try to work on that some. That's the plan for today, and or at least for the morning. Got a ghost opening my door. Either that or somebody's about to break in. I don't know. But anyways, so I need to get this cart finished, get some paint on it, and then we need to get on this thing because I got a decent amount I need to get done to the cab. So, well, let's get started. Well, I got the cart done. I didn't really film much more of it. I probably should have, but I don't know, just got in a groove and just kept going with it. But here's the finished product. Max, what do you think? So the doors, unhook and come around and latch there. Then this one unhooks, folds in half, and then actually swings clear around to this side. So this will be, so these are singles, and then doubles will go here. And there's a tray up top here that they can put stuff in. So I think it came out pretty nice, and the back's just got a, you know, sheet of black on it as well. So I think it'll work for them. I think it'll be pretty nice. So enough of that. We need to get this disaster cleaned up, because it is a mess. So gonna get this cleaned up and then get the engine on a crate or something so that I can get the cab back up on the lift, so we can get more of the stuff done on that we need to. So that's the plan. So we're gonna start going with that today. There we go. We got the shop cleaned up a little bit. At least looks it's a little better for sure. Time to get this thing over here, but I gotta get the engine on a pallet first, and then yeah, we'll get this cab in the air and start working on it. Well, we got the cab back on the lift. I'm going to show you guys some of what I'm going to work on. A lot of this stuff's really hard to get to when stuff's in, you know, everything's inside the motor. Like this stuff needs cleaned up. You know, that bracket doesn't need to be that long. It could be, you know, cut like that. Same thing over here. This stuff needs cleaned up. You can see all this overhang here. All that needs cut off, and, you know, or maybe even cut and bent around and welded. Maybe the same thing with this. It just, so a lot of this stuff needs cleaned up. Like, I don't know. Just a lot of this things that need touched up and cleaned up. There's this big edge here, needs to come off, an edge there, you know. Just a bunch of stuff that needs to be tidied up. You can see even up here, there's a little gap there that needs to be filled. And that one there, a little gap there. Just little stuff that needs to be tidied up so it looks a lot nicer. So I'll put you guys on some time lapse for a little bit, and yeah, I'm gonna go to town working on this thing. It's gonna be yeah, gonna take me a little bit. And also, for some of you that are probably gonna ask, yes, I am gonna make a cover up here that removes, just like I did on Todd's truck. I know I'm getting a little bit of crap from some people that say that I should have made this all removable, but you know, I literally had the cab off this thing in less than 30 minutes. So to pull all that stuff out, you have to pull all the seats out, you have to pull the dash out, you have to mess with all the wiring. I just think it'd be so much easier to just unplug a couple things for wiring inside, you know, disconnect a few things and lift the cab up. So, I mean, that's what them Ford guys do. You know, you want to work on that 6-liter, they pull the cabs on them. So I don't think it's going to be too bad. Like I said, some people probably hate me for it, but it is what it is. So, well, I'm going to get this all done, and then it's going to go to Linden's to get sandblasted and painted under here, and he's going to sandblast off like all this stuff, and I need to make a plate for there to close that off so we don't get crap up in there. Same thing on this side, need to do that. And yeah, there's just a lot of little things to get this cab ready to go. But that's what I'm going to work on for a while here today, and then once I get the bottom side done, I'm going to move inside and work on some stuff in there with getting the little screen put in. I think it's in this box right here. It's got a digital screen he wants put in it. And my guy that's doing AC and stuff was here today, and we were trying to figure out how to do that. So just a lot of things, but it's coming together. So let's get started welding and cutting some stuff. this removable plate that's up in there. Need to put a few more rivet nuts in and just ran out of stuff. But all this stuff's all nice and welded and cleaned up. Got some little corners put on, some splash guards here. Bless you. Ah. So all this is looking pretty good under here, ready to go to paint. So it's just a matter of getting this thing down off the lift, and I need to get the seats and the pedal assembly and stuff out of it, and then back the gooseneck in here and get it set on the trailer. Well, there it is. Cab's loaded, cart's loaded, and that bumper's all loaded. Man, I'm tired. I gotta stop this 1:30 in the morning stuff, but hey, I guess I gotta do what I gotta do right now. But yeah, everything's on here nice and secure and tight, so it's ready to go in the morning. We're gonna go to jaxwax and drop off the cart and the bumper, and then we're gonna go to Linden's, drop off the cab, and pick up a painted frame. So we'll see you guys in the morning. Well, here we are, 7 o'clock in the morning, a couple hours of sleep. Yeah, tired, but everything's loaded, ready to go. I double checked everything. So Braden Barth, B2 Shots, he's over there somewhere. He's going with us today. He was off work and just wanted to go. And my brother-in-law Ryan's coming too. So gonna have a little road trip today with some of the guys, so that'll be fun. But yeah, so we're just waiting on Ryan to get here, and we'll get heading towards Columbus. Well, here it is. Frame's all painted. Turned out pretty nice. Linden did an awesome job once again with this one. But we got a situation because we went to the guy that's painting the cab, and he actually wants the cab not on the truck to paint it. So that means that the cab that I got done for yesterday is now, so it could be loaded this morning and all that to come here. They're wanting it media blasted, so it's not going to get sandblasted. He wants to paint the whole cab. So what's going to happen is the cab's going back home. I'm going to unload the cab and come back and get the frame Monday because I can't fit both on the trailer. So that just means my whole schedule is going to be switched up. So the truck's not going to be done for me May 5th anymore. Now it's going to be stretched longer because the paint guy needs a couple weeks to do the cab. So yeah, a lot of changes for the day, but we're going to go home and get the cab unloaded, and I'm going to get in and edit this video for you guys so you got something you can watch tonight. So a lot of changes, but hey, we're building trucks. We're getting through it. Well, we just got home. I guess the cab just got aired out, got a little sunshine on it, so just hauled it to Columbus and back. Anyways, I'm going to back it in here and get it off the trailer, get it back on the lift, and go in and edit this video. So we'll get that done and call it quits for the day. Well, there it is. We got the cab back off the trailer. back where it was last night, which it's all good. But that gives me some more time to finish up some things on it that I need to. We're going to go get the frame on Monday and bring it back and get the engine set in it and get the cab back down on it and get stacks mounted and a few other things I need to get done before the cab goes to paint, because it's going to get completely disassembled. The front fender's off of it, this grill shell out of it, the steps off of it, you know, everything. And then it's going to go to be media blasted here, and then it's going to the paint shop and they're going to paint everything real nice, and then it comes back and I got to figure out how to put it together without scratching it. So that's the plan. I think that's where we're going to end this week off for you guys. So appreciate you guys watching. God bless. We'll see you on the next one.